in boxes with labels, that those who do good are not always going to fit a cultural stereotype. And then working with this card says your individuality is a gift from the divine. You are the only person on the planet like you. You are truly here for a purpose, and you truly are needed here. No matter how modest this purpose, do it well with all your heart, and there will be no more loneliness. And then on top of that, you pulled Impasse from Chakra Wisdom. Now, Impasse says that this is a reroute, not an ending. The path is blocked and you are at an impasse, but the goal is still there. Do not wait for your present situation to change. Stay focused and find another path. And then the key ideas here are change of direction, regroup and refocus, protection from harm, and guardian angels. And then the question here is, how adaptable am I? Well, with anti-hero, I would say you're pretty adaptable. Being able to know when to take risks and break rules when needed to continue down the path to your end goal says a lot about what you're doing right now to make sure that you are able to continue to create the things that you want in your life. Even though you feel like you may be blocked right now, you're willing to do what you need to do to continue on that path. Here's the energy coming through. Now, seeing that, to me, it's bad, but it's not. I mean, automatically, the first thing I feel like when I see the Ten of Swords is that you need to accept the ending of a painful situation. But here, you need to remember that the pain is done. It's done and it's over with. And, again, with what you're pulling with the Oracle cards, it's like, you're being more adaptable and knowing when to take risks when it comes to changing your situation. But here, there's definitely a need to accept the ending of the situation. It's over with. There's nothing you can do. It's over and it's done. It may have been a painful ending, but it's over with. And in the past, so the Page of Cups. Now, I worry here, looking at him with that Ten of Swords, like, whatever messages are coming through from that page, just, I don't know, I feel like they weren't good enough. It wasn't good enough, and it could represent a water sign and somebody who is, like, immature emotionally. But, seeing that as the past coming through, it makes me worry about, what was coming from him. So the Page of Cups, usually these are messages regarding, like, love, romance, creativity. And having an ending involving emotions is rough, especially with that being the Ten of Swords. Oh, yeah, he's feeding you some bullshit. So, the Five of Swords, seeing that in the present condition, again, to me, this is the bullshit card. There's no truth here. This is just mental nonsense. And again, it's a no-win situation. But, seeing that page above that, I feel like this is somebody that's, like, pulling you into bullshit arguments. And you're like, no, I'm done with that. I'm done dealing with that. I can't deal with this kind of emotional immaturity anymore. But, this being the present moment, it's like you need to accept that it's over and not allow yourself to get caught up in this mental nonsense, especially if somebody else is creating this for you. Because, again, it's bullshit arguments. It's more about ego than it is truth. And it needs to be done with. Future conditions, and that's much better to see. And again, with what you pulled with anti-hero and impasse, it's like, yes, you come out of this strong, very strong. Being future conditions, that's fantastic. So the Magician, everything that we create in our life starts with a thought. And that's what the Magician represents. He's pulling from that divine source and bringing that information down to earth to create something new. And this is big. And, again, with what you pulled in the Oracle cards, it's like you hit an impasse, definitely, between all this. But with anti-hero, again, it's like you're doing what you need to do now. Even if that means needing to take risks and breaking the rules, it's like, screw that, I'm done with this shit. And in a very big way. Yeah. your best path to follow. Yes, yes. So, if you're dealing with somebody who is emotionally immature, that is trying to pull you into bullshit conflict, I feel like, you guys know it, you see it, you're wanting to do something different here, and you're needing to accept the ending of this nonsense here. Like, it needs to be done with. Because the Fool is the best path to follow when you come out of this ending here and into this brand new beginning. You can't carry that shit with you. You can't. And that's the whole point of the Fool. The Fool is the new soul, the newly reincarnated soul. I can't stress how powerful that is when you make that decision to take that leap of faith into life. You can't do it with carrying any nonsense with you, because all it's going to do is create that fucking impasse. But Anti-Hero is saying, no, we're going to take some risks here and break the rules to take a new path. And that's exactly what the Fool is doing. And, you're pulling the power of the Magician on top of that. But, I feel like just looking at it, it needs to be said here, especially with the Ten of Swords being the signifier, that you have to accept that this is over with. You can't carry that in here. And in your environment, yeah, you gotta walk away from it. You have to walk away from it because there's the emotional backing to the bullshit. So, with the Eight of Cups, I immediately have this feeling of, man, look at it. You built something here, and it may have to do with somebody who is just too immature emotionally. You had something with this person, but man, it's leaving you in this heavy emotional feeling of, oh, I'm just done with this. Oh, I'm so done with this. And it's heavy emotionally. It's like, oh, it's just weighing you down. And now again, impasse in the Eight of Cups, it's time to take a different path. It's so clear. It's so clear here. That page is creating conflict, and you need to be done with it. And it's in your environment. Emotionally, you're already done with it, but you need to move on now. And again, the Fool, yeah, you have to move on from this. Your hopes and your fears, and I like seeing that. I love seeing that, because to me, this is saying, again, and with Anti-Hero, it's perfect. You're getting your shit together. You're getting control of the situation. And this is what you're hoping for. The Emperor is all about order, power, structure, and control. And that's what you need to do in this situation here. If you're dealing with somebody who's just, the emotions behind it is like, oh man, and they're fucking you up mentally is what I feel like between that 5 and the 10. The Emperor's like, oh hell no, we're not doing this anymore. You're getting control. But again, with the Fool being your best path to follow and seeing that underneath the 10, you can't carry the shit with you. You can't do it and expect to see something different. That's like a reminder here, because, you have the emotional and the mental backing, and it's like, ugh, oh God. It needs to be done. It has to be done. Because you're on to bigger and much better things here. Look at it. You don't have time for all this nonsense here. If it's making you feel that emotional weight, then yeah, it's time to walk away from it. It's not serving you. It's not serving your purpose. And then I get the feeling too with the Eight of Cups, it's like, it sucks ass because, you've built something here, but now it's just not fulfilling you anymore. Not the way that, you expected it to. It's just not enough. Like, screw it, I have to leave now. And the Emperor's sitting there, yeah, it's about you hoping to get your shit together and get control of the situation that's going on around you. Oh, and the outcome, I had a feeling here, with that Ten of Swords sitting here and needing to accept it, being the Two of Swords, you gotta take that blindfold off. and recognize the situation. Because if you don't, you just stay in the same bullshit conflict over and over again. It's no wonder why the Fool is showing it as your best path to follow. You can sit and think about doing something better all you want, but if you don't make a clear decision, nothing is going to manifest out of this. And you can sit around and hope to get control of this. But again, if you don't take action here, nothing is going to change. This is what you're going to continue to see from what I feel like is this person. And they're weighing you down emotionally. It's such a heavy feeling. And then with the mental stuff going on too, it's like, oh man. The Two of Swords, it's blinding yourself to the situation. You know what's going on. You see it. And the Ten of Swords, yeah, you know that there needs to be an ending here. But you need to take that blindfold off. You need to stop guarding yourself emotionally, accept the situation for what it is, and make a decision. And act on it immediately, because if you don't, again, all you're going to see is the same shit over and over again. An impasse. I mean, it's no wonder why that's showing up. You may feel like you're blocked right now, but you're not. An anti-hero is saying, with impasse, that you need to be flexible here. If you need to take a risk, do it. Because otherwise, all you're going to continue to manifest here is conflict. And truly, that's not what you want. It kills me seeing that. It's like, man, this person has got some kind of control here. There's a part of you that's saying, oh, hell no. But then there's a part of you that's like not wanting to give it up. You're just not ready to give it up yet, almost, is what it feels like. Like, it's no good for you. You know that there needs to be an ending here. But you're just not ready to deal with it yet. You have the power of the Emperor sitting in your hopes and your fears, saying that, yeah, there is a possibility here to get control of this situation. But as long as you continue to blind yourself to it, nothing will change. And again, the Fool. It's your best path to follow here. Don't carry that shit with you. Take a risk. Take that leap of faith into something new. And when you're doing this, manifesting here out of this thought, you gotta let this stuff go. You can't, this is not what you want to continue to manifest. When I see the Magician, I automatically think of, I need to create something here. It needs to be really big, but this is just the thought. But the manifestation comes after that thought. But what is your thought right now? Because you're not clear on it. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break. And yeah, that's kind of what you're doing with the Two of Swords. But, I think that when you take that blindfold off, you make that clear decision, you accept that painful ending, and you get away from this conflict, these are heavy hitters here. But, again, before this is over with, you have to act. You gotta do something here. And again, impasse is not telling you that what you want is no longer there. It's just you need to take a different route. Oh, this one's heavy. It feels heavy emotionally and mentally. And I really feel like, the only way that things are going to change here for you involving this situation is by putting that focus on love and using that in your actions. And when dealing with all this painful stuff, yeah, you definitely need to take a break. Okay, Libra, so I feel like you guys already know what's happening here. And clearly you're not ready to deal with the situation, but you are surrounded with conflict right now. There needs to be an acceptance of an ending here. And I feel like it has to do with somebody who is emotionally immature. Now, it's understandable if this is something that you're used to, but what you're pulling here, and with these three, all of these cards alone are telling me that you're wanting to see something different. You're wanting to do something different. It's so powerful. It's all around you. but you're just not doing it. You have an opportunity here to create something much better in your life. The Fool is telling you that if you're going to do that, you can't carry this shit with you. The Emperor, being in your hopes and your fears, is saying that you're hoping that you get control of this situation, but coming out with the Two of Swords, it's like you're not ready yet. You're not ready, and what you're feeling in your environment right now is like, oh, this is so just like emotionally draining. It's so done. You're so done with it emotionally. You're ready to move on, but you just haven't done it yet. But it's all around you. The opportunities to do this are all around you. Impasse is saying that this is not a block. This isn't a permanent block. This is just saying that you need to take a different path here. You know, it's not an ending. And then with Anti-Hero, I feel like here, you know, this card is telling you that you're going to have to take some risks here and maybe break some rules when it comes to taking this leap of faith into something new. Because clearly you need to take a different path here, because what you have going on is creating bullshit in your life. But you're just not ready to deal with it. And it's so heavy. It's just such a heavy feeling. But it's understandable. But you have to make a clear decision when it comes to this situation. Are you going to continue here to create that conflict in your life and see that over and over again, or are you going to create something different here? You know, because I feel like you're wanting to do something different for you, but for some reason this person has got you locked in this conflict that you're just not ready to deal with yet. But clearly there needs to be an ending here. Now, when you look at what you pulled from Whispers of Love, rest and relaxation, we'll start with that, yeah. When it comes to that mental and emotional drainage, you know, you need to take a break. You've got to take a break from that kind of conflict, because otherwise it's just going to continue to drain you emotionally. And there's this heavy feeling of just, ugh, you've had enough of this. You have to deal with this. Now, actions speak loudly. And the only thing that is real is love, and taking your focus away from the problem. Yeah, you need to do that. You have to take your focus away from the problems that may arise when having to make a decision dealing with this bullshit conflict, right? And then again, action, action, action. You can sit and think about doing something all you want, but if you don't take action, how can you expect to see anything manifest? So I really feel like here, Libra, you have all of this at your fingertips. It's right there. It's right there for you to move forward and to do something better and more powerful with your life. But it's up to you. You have to make the decision to do this. You have to open